Okay, we're rolling, I think. Hello, everybody. Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Herpanwo TV. I'm actually in my friend's house in the attic, and there's some lovely socks behind me, as you can see. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sweaty. I've just come out of the bath. Basically, I'm making this video because, and I wasn't going to make a sort of video, so you'll excuse if it's not all edited with titles and things on that. It's just that several people have left comments, and someone has made a video which is telling lies about me. So I thought I should reply. I'll probably upload this to Facebook as well. But I received a comment from somebody, first of all, just to begin with. It was actually from TK, I believe. There we go. Where is it? Here we go. It was on one of my old Skeptic videos. Strangely enough, TK has chosen to post it on Skeptics. It's the old Skeptic video I did, I think, back in 2015 in New Horizons, St Anne's. And here we go. Did you? TK says I'll come back to this on. I'll come back to this also on my comments reply video. Did you see the latest on Alex Jones and Sam Cooke? Alex has gone back on his statement that it was a staged event, and he has just been sued for $4 million because of claiming the event was staged. And you think this was a staged event also, and most probably based on what people like Alex Jones said, you are also going to go back and revisit this, or are your conclusions set in stone? I was sceptical this was a staged event, and I was right to be sceptical, whereas I'd like to see you dig your way out of this one. I did put a reply to TK saying that I would actually at some point do a little reply to him on this matter, because it is obviously very topical with what's happened with Alex Jones. And Steve Mumbling has made a video as well, which not only tells some lies about me, but it tends to, it's this typical sort of vainglorious situation, which is that Alex Jones has basically been screwed, and he has been screwed, but not in the way you people think. The TK's question is very loaded as well. I'll just go through some of the ways in which this is not really a very fair question. You see, Alex has gone back on his statement it was a staged event. That's true. You also say something factual here. He's been sued for $4 million because of claiming the event was staged. Now, he was actually not sued for $4 million. He has actually paid $4.8 million, I believe, now to the people who claim to be the parents of the supposed children supposedly shot in the supposed massacre. And they didn't sue him because he said that the event was staged. They sued him because they said that he was directly responsible for the harassment they received from third parties. At one point, he actually did. He actually, for example, I mean, one of the key points of the original court case a couple of years ago was that he had a computer display which showed their PO box and business address of one of them. They've also been tracked down. One of the fathers has committed suicide. Others have had to move house, and they've been pursued by the thug elements. Whether these are Alex's real fans or whether this is some kind of, I don't know, these are government agents trying to smear Alex's name and using these people to do it, is another matter. But he's not being sued for saying that these people. He's not being sued for saying that the event was staged. Otherwise, I could be sued as well for saying it was staged. He's being sued as what they claim is a direct result of the harm of his behaviour on the so-called families of the so-called victims. And he says here, as you think this was a staged event also, and most probably based on what people like Alex Jones said, not entirely, no. In fact, Alex was not one of the best researchers into this. I would say the best work on this event was done by Sophia Smallstorm. Her analysis of the Hook is excellent, not least because she is native to the area. She actually was born and grew up in the area around Newtown. She used to ride her bike along the lanes, those country lanes near where the school was. And so she knew that the school wasn't actually there. She knew it was closed. Things like that. She knew these people who supposedly, she knew most of the families in Newtown, and she didn't recognise any of the names that came forward on the news. Things like that. So Alex Jones isn't. I didn't come to this conclusion because of what Alex Jones said. Are you also going to go back and revisit this, or are your conclusions set in stone? That's a very interesting, loaded question there. Are your conclusions set in stone? Am I going to be a stubborn conspiracy theorist? I just never changed my mind. Well, that's a bit of a loaded question. The answer is, of course, well, it's, as I said, answering that question is difficult without making myself look like some kind of curmudgeon who's plugging my ears to facts and just pretending that the reality doesn't exist while I spout things that I just pull out my arse. That's a misrepresentation of my position and people like me. But basically, the answer is I do still maintain that it was a staged event. I wish Alex had done so as well, but I mean, I don't want to judge Alex being in the position he was in, especially seeing as he's now facing a kangaroo court. I'll come on to more details of that in a little while. You say you were sceptical this was a staged event. You were right to be sceptical. Okay, well, a lot of people, this divided the truth movement very much. More so, I think, in recent years, people have turned away from that, including Alex. Whereas I'd like to see you dig your way out of this one. Again, dig your way. How do you dig your way out of this one? It's like I'm now in a real hole. How am I going to, I'm trapped by the forces of factual nature. And how am I going to find a way to dig my way out so that I still come up smelling of roses? So your question, TK, is very loaded. I'll probably repeat this point I make in the next comments reply video. Unless you choose to delete your comment, you have deleted comments before. And I don't delete them, you sometimes do. Okay, so let's now move on to Steve Mumbling. He's made a 12-minute rant about me and several other things, which is completely untrue. The main lie he tells me, again, is that I am deleting his... I'll just tell him, actually. I'll just say I'm making a reply video. I knew Steve couldn't... You see... There we go. I'm making a reply video. There we go. So now he knows this video is coming. Right, so he says this is a video called Alex Jones Admits He Lied About Sandy, and more Kremlin Jones rubbish. He calls me Ben Kremlin Jones. Okay, Kharkiv Steve. Let's know what you have to say.
Okay, well, I just thought I put this comment here, Steve Mumbling.
I'll just show you the video actually here. I'll just can I actually it doesn't seem to have. Okay, my this OBS on my laptop doesn't have that capability. That's okay, it's not necessary. You can hear it, that's the main thing.
0 seconds ago. I put it on here earlier on. This is on Ben Emlyn Jones's reply to comment 62 video, Steve Mumbling, and he deleted it. So I'm just recording myself, putting it on there again. There you go, deleted my comment already. You really can't handle the truth. Here it is again from this, which is an article about Alex Jones saying he knowingly lied about
okay,
the
guys, okay, guys, I've now worked out how to do display capture, so I just switch it off or switch it on. That's it. Good. Okay, so now I can show you Steve Mumbling's screen. So I just have to work that out for a moment. There we go. So now let's have a look.
Massacre, and that it was 100% real. This he said this, testifying on Wednesday. Jones again from this, which is an article about Alex Jones saying he knowingly lied about the Hook massacre.
All right, I think you actually sent me a link to this before, Steve, so I'll just go and check this out now. You've actually sent me an earlier comment to this. You may find this interesting, Ben. Let's have a look. I think this is probably the same link. So it's taking a while to post. This is Welsh internet, I'm afraid. An expert has informed me this is to do with the internet in Wales is really bad, you know. Oh, it's ads. All right. Bear with me, ladies and gents. Basically,
Bass was contracted to perform all of OSAP's
All right.
technical research and analysis.
This is a different subject. All right. Steve, I'll go into this later. This is a completely different subject to do with. This is a completely different subject to do with another issue, which I don't want to talk about right now. So we'll go back to your video, and we'll continue with that. Because I want to talk about Alex Jones with you right now.
And that it was 100% real. This, he said this, testifying on Wednesday, Jones acknowledged the Hook attack was 100% real and apologised for having hurt these people's feelings.
I know, Steve. I know he did. What's your point?
And I put, just bullshit for money, just like everything else in the conspiracy business. I watched Colin Woeful interviewing Bob Brown on MJ's channel.
That's right. Colin Woeful, as you call him, Colin Wolford, to give you his proper name, did a wonderful dialogue on stage at the conference, the recent BASIS conference and workshops with Bob Brown. Yes, the organizer of the International UFO Congress. What's your point?
Obvious Colin didn't believe a word of what Brown was saying.
Why is it obvious that Colin didn't believe a word of what Bob Brown was saying? Colin was polite. He was respectful. He asked some good questions. Obviously, Colin has his own views on things like the alien autopsy, which Colin will challenge people who disagree with him. But he always does so in a genial manner. Colin and I are very good friends, but we disagree on many things.
Is a good storyteller, and I got the impression he had told these stories many times, but it was all absolute rubbish. The conspirasphere is crumbling. You'll have to peddle some more science fiction.
Why is the conspirasphere crumbling? Just because Colin, we have one piece of dialogue you heard from Colin and Bob Brown.
Nonsense to try and prop it up, Ben. Okay, so you can see that. That is posted, that comment. So I'll post the video so that you will know that I posted it on Ben's channel, and if it's not there now, he's deleted it.
If it's not there now, he's deleted it. That's a disgraceful lie, and it's a lie you keep repeating, Steve. You keep saying this over and over again. You know it's not true. You post your comments. I've explained to you how I found some of your comments in the spam folder, and I posted them. Yeah, you keep posting these comments, and they disappear. Okay, I'm not deleting your comments. I've deleted one comment of yours when you were being a complete dickhead, and you're attacking other people in the channel's comment section. So I pulled you up on it. I took you out as a result of that. But that's the only time I've ever deleted any of your comments. Now, you know, however obnoxious you are, and however arrogant you are, however much you look down your nose at people like me, and you talk down to us. I mean, I'm a big, ugly ex-hospital porter. It doesn't bother me. I can give you as good as I get, and I do, and I'm doing it now. I've deleted one of your comments when you were attacking somebody else. I think it was Julie Phelps you were having a go at. So I've not seen this comment. I've just checked my spam folder. It's not there. You posted this on the 6th of August, which is what date is it today? Is it? 7. It's the 7th. So you posted it yesterday. I know you're in a different time zone to me. So you posted this less than 24 hours ago, I'm guessing. I've only just checked the spam folder. I've just checked my comments list. It's not there. I don't know where it's gone. Comments look, other people have complained that they post comments on my channel and they disappear. But there's people who say this. Don't accuse me of deleting them when I explain to you how I haven't, and you've got no evidence that I have except the comment disappears. They don't accuse me of deleting them. They treat me in good faith when I say I'm not deleting them. You assume I'm deleting your comments. You assume that because you're being disingenuous, and I think you're being provocative. That's the point. Even in making this video, in a way, I'm feeding you in your provocations. However, I do think this needs to be nipped in the bud, especially because you're going to say a lot of other stuff about Alex Jones, which I want to deal with.
But what that guy Bob Brown was saying on Miles Johnston's channel is just absolute nonsense. It was saying, talking about Billy Meyer, you know, the one-armed woodcutter. Certainly aliens are going to fly across the galaxy to talk to a one-armed, 10 of them to crash in the...
I don't want to talk...
Lightning is not going to Bring down an alien.
Okay, Steve, I don't want to talk about Bob Brown or Lightning or Roswell. Let's get on to Alex Jones. That's the purpose of me. That's the purpose you made this video, didn't you?
There is zero tangible evidence to support one. Do a couple more clips while I'm here. I'm just waiting for some paint to dry so I can put a second coat on. So I'll do another clip.
Watching you is like watching paint dry, Steve. So you should be. I'm quite used to that.
And add it and join it onto this. Okay, now here's a pretty good example of denial. Now, Ben Emlyn Jones, every single time you say, well, why has no one ever found a single Bigfoot skeleton? You know, he said, oh, because it's suppressed.
I'm not interested in Bigfoot.
Steve, to make you realise that people are willing to keep secrets like this.
With regard to the water-powered car, I think it is all something to it. We're not scared of being taken out for a meal and murdered. You know,
He's gone off topic now. Okay, I'm going to forward wind a little bit now. I'll take your display capture because it's boring.
Because they were all rubbish. And the conspiracy...
I wanted to get onto Alex Jones.
Well, he got done for swindling a lot of investors. So if he was murdered, and I'm not sure that he won money off the wrong person...
I think they're talking about Eugene Malov or Billy Meyer. I'm not interested in that right now. Or
this stuff is just
Stanley
lie
Mayer.
after lie after lie.
They didn't want to go out to a restaurant.
Let's forward winding through these. Sorry for the delay, ladies and gents. I didn't pre-watch this. I immediately, as soon as I started, I watched the first bit and I thought, well, he's going to go on about Alex Jones.
The way I describe it, I described it as part of an experiment.
And that's absolute, complete and utter rubbish.
Absolute rubbish.
Why does he do these presentations to these people that are...
Oh, you know what?
Kilohertz, megahertz, and
because he's got no idea. He really can't tell that it is impossible. Much more efficient to use a resonant antenna.
Okay. I think that's all we've got to know. Right? So
nonsense.
Basically, Steve says nothing about Alex Jones in this video. Okay, so let's go on to... Let's just go back to TK's question and let's go and look at a very, very good analysis I saw. I'm not going to go for this entire analysis. I don't want this video to be too long because I'm here with my friends. I want to spend time with them. I don't want to waste that time on people like Steve Mumbling. However, I'm going to just quickly go through the podcast of the Lotus Eaters and what they did. Oh, Steve Mumbling has replied to me while I'm on the air. Look at this, ladies and gents. This is an exclusive. We have a Steve Mumbling reply in the middle of the comments. Let's have a look at it. What's it say? There we go. Watch the video I made showing me post the comment you deleted. I'm not only watching it, I'm recording a reply video as we speak. Right, Steve, you were caught you red-handed there, didn't I? Okay, so what's next? Right, podcast of the Lotus Eaters. This is Sargon of Akkad. All right, so I thought it was shadow banned there for a minute. Okay, guys, I'm just going to find the right video. We'll go through a couple of Alex Jones's clips. There we go. This is the video I want us to talk about. It's called The Legal War on InfoWars. The actual caption on the thumbnail is Sam Cooke Parents versus Alex Jones.
Will you bend the knee to your enlightened rulers? Will you salute the rainbow?
Okay.
Practice that's been going on at trial from Jones's own lawyers, the activist judge, and so.
Okay. Let me just show you it now. this is the. Oops, hang on. It's just hourglassing a bit. The judge is called Maya. Here we go. What's her name? Maya Gimbel, I think her name is. Anyway, apparently she's some kind of Democrat wokist activist, like judges tend to be.
Tim Pool or Joe Rogan do. You can't even invite him on your show, really. But the punitive damages don't work the same way. Punitive damages are awarded not because the compensatory damages are set out as we have lost X amount of money.
I should point out that these guys here on Podcasts and Lotus Secret, like Sargon, totally reject any so-called conspiracy theories book, like they do about. Well, they don't reject all conspiracy theories, but they reject them. Was that someone? I'll just go to the clips here. Is this? What's this here? Sorry, the internet's a bit slow. It's West Wales.
Came out, and there was a significant portion of it was dedicated to Alex Jones, just repeatedly saying over and over again, yes, I was wrong. What I said was wrong. I have apologized for that, and I'm going to apologize again right now. I should.
Alex Jones has made about 100 apologies to parents, the people, his viewers, for saying that he mistook for being an inside job. Now, I think he made a mistake for two reasons. Firstly, I don't know does he actually believe that? I personally think I say I haven't changed my mind on that. He has. Secondly, once you start apologizing, they don't forgive you. Apology is just a display of weakness. It's like blood in the water for the sharks. Wokists and SJWs don't forgive and forget. Their purpose is to destroy you. They are ruthless. They are psychopathic. What Alex Jones did by apologizing, unfortunately, I mean, even if he actually really believed what he's saying and he thinks he does owe the parents an apology, he always make your apology private to them. Never admit you've done it. Just send them a private apology if you feel like you want to. Never make a public apology, because, like I say, they attack you even more when you apologize. Look at Richard Dawkins. Look at the apology Richard Dawkins made for the the Rebecca Watson thing, the elevator gate. And there was he actually tweeted a Sargon video. It was actually an animated video, taking a Mickey out of Big Red, the feminist, and Dawa Man, the Islamic radical. I am an Islamist. You are a feminist. I thought that was very funny myself. But Dawkins tweeted it, and he got an absolute Twitter storm of abuse from these people, these ridiculous lefties. He still feels the need to appease, and as a result, he received zero forgiveness. He just received more and more abuse. They induced him to apologise. There was that horrible one that said, I watched Sargon's video about that. What about an apology, Dr. Dawkins, Professor? What about an apology? He said, okay, I apologise. And they just come after him even more. So Alex made a mistake issuing a public apology in that situation.
Have put all of that attention on the parents who were so obviously devastated by what had happened. So he has repeatedly gone on the record. Very interesting.
So it seems like he's all right financially. He just doesn't particularly.
The interesting bits.
He might also
teacher.
Mr. Jones.
Am I on display caption? I'll put it on display caption now. Here we go. Mr. Jones, the mysterious Mr. Jones. Here we go.
So yeah, if we go to the next clip, then this is the judge scolding him and censoring him like a school teacher.
I should point out she is very school marmish, actually. Now, of course, judges have to be tough and they have to bring people into line. They have to be severe at times. But this woman is very obviously biased in favour of the prosecution. And as it turns out, and you'll find out in a minute, it's not just the prosecution who are actually biased in favour of the prosecution. The defence solicitor is as well. Bear with me.
Mr. Jones, you may not say to this jury that you complied with discovery. That is not true. You may not say it again. You may not tell this jury that you are bankrupt. That is also not true. You may have filed for bankruptcy, I don't know that, but I've heard that. That doesn't put...
So he's not allowed. Is he not allowed to express an opinion in court? Is he not allowed to do that? Could he? If he? How is he? She keeps saying again and again, just answer the question, Mr. Jones. Just answer the question. So she's framing the entire trial down a corral that Jones can't really defend himself the way he wants to.
Doesn't make a person or a company bankrupt. You're already under oath to tell the truth. You've already violated that oath twice today in just those two examples. It seems absurd to instruct you again that you must tell the truth while you testify, yet here I am. You must tell the truth while you testify. This is not your show.
I think he knows that.
You need to slow down and not take what you see as opportunities to further the message you're wanting to further. And instead, only answer the specific and exact question you have been asked. No asides. The comments about discovery, the comments about the larynx or whatever it was, the comments about bankruptcy, none of those were responsive to questions. They were just you abusing my tolerance and making asides to the jury improperly and in at least two cases, untruthfully. Do you understand?
As you'll find later on, he doesn't obey these instructions, and it's just as well he doesn't.
Understand what I have said? Yes or no? Do you understand what I have said?
Yes, I believe what I said was true. So I don't.
Yes, you believe everything you say is true, but it isn't. Your beliefs do not make something true. That is what we're doing here. Just because you claim to think something is true does not make it true. It does not protect you. It is not allowed. You are under oath. That means things must actually be true when you say them. Don't talk. You understand what I have said.
I do understand.
You understand the instructions I have given you for your testimony in court.
Yes.
Poor old Alex.
Oh my God, that sigh at the end. I wish that we didn't have to censor us.
You know, honestly, it gets worse. It gets much worse than that. It really does. Alex, you think at that point it's very obvious the judge is biased, but as I said, it's not just the judge that's biased. Let's move on to another clip. I'll play Kevin Logan's thing as well in a little while. What's this? Just hourglassing here for a moment. Oh, this is one of the people who claim to be a parent. Go back a bit further.
Conspiracy theory.
Over mistakes that he made 8 years ago.
So you see what they're putting up poster says re-elect Maya Guerra Gamble for 459 District Court. There you go. That's the judge, who is a Democrat. Remember all the fuss they made about bloody the judge in the Carl Rittenhouse case? Oh, he's got a patriotic ringtone on his phone. That means he's now
already profusely apologized for.
And exactly.
And already been on trial for other parents as well who have sued him over it.
And we'll get into other trials of Alex Jones slightly later. If we can go to the next one, we're not going to play any clips of this, but I did just want to point out. So Alex had said that this woman's husband, who she was separated from, one of the fathers of the victims, is a slow talker. He might be a bit on the spectrum, something like.
Oh, this is not the shooting. That's a different matter. Let's move on. But there's been several sort of like guilt witnesses, as I call them,
team to come across on the stand, because of course they do witness prep and things like that. They've made her seem quite wooden, whereas Jones seems he's constantly on the back foot by a judge that is constantly berating him because she's an activist. If we go to the next.
Now, this clip is really, really incredible. It's unbelievable.
Where his team accidentally leak his...
No, I don't need to... You can look at this, the Legal War and InfoWars. I don't need to commentate on the commentary. I'm not going to waste time with that. You can go watch this video, listen to what these two guys, Connor and what's his name has to say, and then you can work it out for yourself. But this, what they say, is actually correct.
Entire phone and email contents history to the prosecutors. What?
Okay.
Mr. Jones, you know how an iPhone works, right? You've had iPhone text messaging for several years now.
Yeah.
What does it mean if the messages are in blue? Whose messages are those? Whose phone is this taken from?
The answer is him. If the message is blue,
I don't know who's supposed to take it. I mean, I turned the phone over and said, take the stuff off.
Can I have you look in the very bottom below the very bottom left corner? Is that your phone number?
Yes. So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Oh.
Indeed.
Is this his own lawyer he's talking to? Okay.
You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then...
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
Did you know this happened?
No, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told you I gave them the phone over.
And you said in your deposition, you searched your phone. You said you pulled down the text, did the search function for Sandy. That's what you said, Mr. Jones, correct?
And I had several different phones with this number, but I did, yeah. Well, of course, I mean, that's why you got it.
No, Mr. Jones, that's not.
My lawyer sent it to you, but I'm hiding it. Okay.
Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones,
Please just answer questions. There's no question. Mr. Bankston also only asks questions.
Sure. Mr. Jones, in discovery.
This is completely improper. Just what's happened is that Alex's solicitor was communicating with the prosecution barrister, and in the course of this email exchange, he accidentally sent he accidentally sent the prosecution barrister over 1.2 gigabytes of information relating to Alex's private communication. Social media, email, stuff like that. Accidentally. Now, after this had happened, he wrote to the solicitor. He realised he'd made a mistake. This thing irritates me, but there's no other way to do it. You have to do inverted commas in the air quotes, right? Mistake. And said, please disregard the last email I sent you, including the attachments and shared files. The prosecution, as you've just heard, did not ignore it and has now submitted it as evidence in court without telling Alex in advance, without telling, I expect the judge knew in advance, without telling the defence barrister at all that this was going to happen. And what's more, as you've just heard, Alex's defence counsel has done absolutely nothing to stop this from happening. And that's not the only time the defence counsel has messed up. There's another instance as well. But this is the worst. This is the worst thing as well. It's pretty obvious, I think, that Alex's defence counsel is actually a plant for the prosecution. This is a kangaroo court. This is a stitch-up. Alex is being framed.
You were asked, do you have text messages on your phone? And you said no, correct? You said it under oath, Mr. Jones, didn't you?
I mean, if I was mistaken, but you got the messages right there.
You know what perjury is, right? I just want to make sure you know before we go any further. You know what it is.
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm not a tech guy. I told you I gave in my testimony the phone to the lawyers before, whatever, and so you got my phone, but we didn't give it to you.
No, Mr. Jones, one more time. And please remember, if you need to assert the Fifth Amendment, you can. I need to know that you can do that. But you testified under oath previously that you
the Fifth Amendment refers to incriminating yourself as a witness in court.
Personally searched your phone for the phrase, and there were no messages. You said that under oath.
Yes.
And you lied when you said it.
No, I did not.
That basically he's trying to stitch Alex Jones up with a perjury charge, because Alex, this evidence was supposed to be private. This communication that's supposed to be private has now been slipped. It's been leaked to the prosecution, and they're now submitting it as evidence in court. And they just dumped this completely on Alex out of the blue. He didn't know anything about this. This is why Kevin Logan is gloating about it so much.
Why?
Jesus Christ.
I know. I apologise for the slightly long clip there, but I just had to play it in full because the exchange is shocking.
Remarkable.
Well, the lawyer is next to Bingham, who was involved in the Rittenhouse trial, the most disconcertingly smug, smarmy, self-important person I've ever seen cross-examine a witness.
I'm
ready to hang them up. Got them.
Oh, this is Alex. Oh, I'll just skip through that. Alex Jones. They also. What's more, Alex Jones's wife now is now turning his ex-wife is now stabbing him in the back, and it's
ready.
So in this
barbecue
hilarious.
Right. This is one of Alex Jones's kind of like humorous rants, where he talks about food shortage and about how he would eat his neighbours if food shortage got too much. Well, his ex-wife is now jumping on the bandwagon and trying to make out, look, now Alex Jones is inciting people to commit murder and cannibalism. Oh, for goodness sake, this is like that ridiculous Twitter joke. You remember? The airport, was it the airport in Nottingham? It was shut down due to heavy snowfall. So the guy says, and he basically makes a humorous comment about how he would do something to the airport. He ends up in bloody court with it, accused under bloody terrorism. Under the terrorism offences. All authoritarian states have one thing in common. They have many things in common. One of them is they reject humour. They have no sense of humour, and they try to stop people having a sense of humour.
It's hypothetical.
Yeah, exactly. It's
this hilarious hypothetical because of potential food shortages. She's trying to
go for back because Alex does get a bit. He does get his own back at one point. I want to a bit more.
Right, Joe, I suppose.
One of the things
I want to go because what happened was Alex was asked about his accusations he's made against political figures being involved in paedophilia and things like that. And Alex, I'm pleased to say, the judge would have said, just answer the question yes or no. But Alex, of course, disobeys her very wisely and says this.
You've been talking about on your show is your allegation that government officials are aiding in pedophilia, child trafficking, and the grooming of children, right?
You mean like what Jeffrey Epstein did with the Clintons?
Yep, that was good. Well done, Alex. That was the perfect response, and the judge is going.
She should allow them to male vitality, I assume.
Well, I think he should, because, judging by Mr. Hard.
Wait, what?
And so...
I can't find the clip here. I won't bother with the clip. It's only a tiny little short clip anyway. But what happens is Owen Schroyer is called as a defense witness. Owen Schroyer, of course, is a chap who presents one of the InfoWars show. He's a lot younger than Alex. And I actually, for a long time, I thought that was Alex's son, but it's not. He's not related to Alex. And now, Alex's defense counsel messed up once again. I say messed up again in air quotes by telling Owen that he was free and he was at liberty to discuss the proceedings publicly. And of course, Owen did on his show. Later on, he's called into the court, and the judge claims that he is committing contempt of court by talking about it publicly. Again, he's been given contradictory instructions, and Owen now faces a contempt of court charge. This was engineered by Alex's defense counsel. Do you see what I'm saying? Alex is not getting a fair trial here. What I hope will happen is that he will immediately sue for mistrial when this is all over. And he can take this further. He can appeal. He can even take it. He can go a second time to the Supreme Court, and I hope he wins. I really do. So that's about it, basically. I just wanted to cover that. People have asked me what I think about Alex Jones and what's been done to him. I'll just play Kevin Logan. I said I could play Kevin Logan, didn't I? Let's have a look. Where is it? Right. 1 second, guys. Where's Kalo? Let's have a look. Kevin Logan is being his usual self. He's, of course, is 100% up against Alex on this. He's 100% behind whatever the judge has decided to do. Kevin Logan. There we go. Right, here we go. Let's just find the link. So I'm just searching for the link to Kevin's channel. As you know, Kevin Logan is a SJW.
So
vocalist.
We're going to now go into the
Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to her Panwo TV, and welcome to this. The reply to comments 62.
What was
this
that?
is the 62nd video in which I reply to your comments, hence the title. Now, the reason I make these videos.
Why am I hearing that noise?
Is because
it's because I was stupid enough to open my channel page. Sorry about that. Of course, the title video on my channel page, the feature video, always plays automatically. Salome, right? My Twitch channel. I'm just looking for Kevin's Twitch channel now, and I'll try and find the right one. Twitch is infested with ads. That's so annoying. By the way, is it just me, or are we getting more and more ads on things? It seems every video on all the platforms now seems to have ads. I mean, all tech sites have ads now, but it's generally just like little. It's just like little might accept cookies, yeah. It's like little minor ads, little pop-ups and things. A lot of Rumble, of course, has opening title ads, which I don't have a problem with. Just hit pause as soon as I get the chance. Hit pause on that. Oh, nothing's happening. All right, there's a bit of a delay.
8675309.
Where's the bit about Alex Jones? Here we go.
My pulse suddenly.
Okay, I've got audible ad, not to worry. So it's everything, things are just running a little bit slow. As I said, you know, everything seems to be infested with ads these days. I mean, YouTube ads used to be like a little pop-up or a 5-second clip. They're now like 2 minutes sometimes, and there's no skip button. I don't know. It depends what country you're in. Do you get that irritating little zero accounting software? Do you get that one? That one keeps coming up all the time. It's that infuriating little lamb muncher going, "Ooh, running a business is like running a marathon in the desert with quicksand." Oh, I can't stand him. I wish someone would put him in a bloody movie. He looks like Jacinta Ardern's love child. Let's have a look. Where is this? Here we go.
The sides of these people charged with selecting our next Prime Minister.
Come here,
and
forward.
I don't understand that.
That's Kevin. The fuzzy blob on the bottom right is Kevin. Looks like a potato with a beard.
Sorry, I'm just tweeting now.
There we go.
Or Hitler.
Oh, right, that is like a what's it called? It's a picture meld of Kevin and Adolf Hitler.
That's very weird. Anyway,
it doesn't look like either
Alex
of them.
Jones.
It doesn't look like either of them actually. It looks rather like the it looks like the actor who played James Forrestal in the 11th Green. Actually,
he is currently undergoing his lawsuit with the victims.
Kangaroo Court, Kevin. Kangaroo Court.
Said that their dead children weren't real, or that they were crisis actors, etc., etc. Absolute piece of shit. And his trial has been everything I wanted it to be, and so much more. The memes, the motherfucking memes are off the charts.
It's an interesting example.
The Johnny Depp versus what's her fucking name?
Amber Turd.
Oh,
Actually, I don't have to show you anymore. He just plays the same clip you've just seen on podcasts that Lotus he does.
Your attorney's messed up and sent me
Okay, you've seen enough, haven't you?
an
I think you've seen enough.
entire digital copy of your entire.
Okay, that was okay. So, guys, I think I've replied there to Steve, and he said he's deleting my comments. He didn't really say much about Alex Jones in that video, not as much as I thought he would. But my position on Alex Jones is as follows. In summary, Alex Jones has been set up in a kangaroo court, which I hope he will overturn on appeal. I believe if I'd been in his position, if this, I wouldn't have got into his position, because I would have always put in disclaimers when I'm talking to him. I would have said things like, look, please do not approach these individuals that I'm accusing. Please do not contact them in any way. We have to be civilized if we're going to win this war. We mustn't give the enemy the ammunition they're looking for. We mustn't put weapons into their hands in the way we do. We mustn't give them sticks to beat us with by behaving like a bunch of thugs. Please do not approach these people. Do not attack them. Do not contact them in any way. I would have always done that. I'd have also been careful to under data protection laws as well, by not publishing their PO boxes and business addresses. So I would be in Alex's situation, I think. Had I ended up there, I would have stuck by my guns. I would have just said, when the judge says, one of the actual people said, Alex, do you think I'm an actor? And I'd have said, yes, I think you are. I'd have stuck by my guns. I'd have stuck by my original conclusion, and I'd have, Alex shouldn't. Alex has gained nothing by caving in like this. He hasn't. I do think, I maintain, to answer TK's question, I maintain we should be suspicious of the hat of shooting. Not because of what Alex said, but because of what numerous researchers said, such as the aforementioned Sophia Smallstorm. There's also there's the guy whose name I can't remember, the 9/11 guy.
Jim Fetzer.
But he wrote a book called Nobody Died. Nick Hollerstrom has talked about this as well, who's an expert in false flag terror. So we should continue to be suspicious of Hook. I don't think anything that's happening right now, in any case, validates the official story. Nothing factual has changed within that situation. Just because these people there is a class action lawsuit by a group of people, doesn't make them the parents. It doesn't mean that the school was real, or the shootings were real, or the children were real. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you for watching Herpanmo TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.